Yeah, very good afternoon to one and all. My name is Dr. Rathina Kumar, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, SNS College of Engineering. In this lecture series, we are going to see the introduction of object-oriented programming and Java. So let us start with what is meant by an object-oriented programming. So this is the topics that we are going to cover in this session. Overview of object-oriented programming, then object-oriented paradigms, then features, then Java buzzwords. Okay, so what is meant by OOPS? It is an object-oriented programming. These are all some of the points related to an object-oriented programming. It is faster and easier to execute. It provides clear structure for the programs. OOPS make it possible to create full reusable application with less code and shorter development time. And the final, that is a very important point. The classes and object are the two main aspects of the object-oriented programming. So let us see one by one. Yeah. So what is meant by OOPS? Object-oriented programming paradigm is based on the concept of objects. What is meant by an object? Object contain in general data and code. So data means it is in the form of the fields. For an example, attribute properties are the example of the datas. The code are in the form of procedures. The another name for the procedure is methods. So in object-oriented programming, computer programs are designed by making them out of objects that interact with one another. Yeah, this is the basic difference between procedure-oriented programming, object-oriented programming. In our previous semester, we have studied procedure-oriented programming. The example for procedure-oriented programming is the C languages, the most popular example. Then in this semester, we are going to see the object-oriented programming, especially we are going to study only the Java, because object-oriented programming, there are many examples, C++, Java, Python, but in this semester, we are going to study only the Java. So before that, we are going to see what is the difference between procedure and object-oriented programming. In procedure-oriented programming, see that first point, the program is divided into small parts called as a functions, whereas in object-oriented programming, the program is divided into small parts. It is called as an objects. Then the second difference is it is a top-down approach. It is a bottom-up approach. Then procedure-oriented does not have any access specifier, whereas object-oriented programming have an access specifier like public, private, protected, etc. Then it is a less secure because it doesn't have any access specifier. In object-oriented programming is provide more secure because of the data hiding and other features. So these are all some of the difference between procedure and object-oriented programming. Yeah. So this is the basic concept of an object-oriented programming. So these 6 concept is very important. So let us start with an abstraction. Okay, very simple one. It hides the implementation details of sophisticated methods, allowing users to see only the necessary information. We'll see with a simple example. In an ATM card, we insert the card. After inserting the card, we give the password, that is the ATM pin and other details, but we cannot see some other things. So we show only the some necessary details. It hides many details behind that. So that is called as an abstraction. That is an example for an abstraction. So the next one is polymorphism. First we see the definition. The ability of an object to behave differently depending on the context. So which means that the ability to take more than one form is known as a polymorphism. In a practical example, some person inside the class, they are acted as a student. Suppose if they go for a bank, they acted as an customer. Suppose if they go for if they travel in a bus or a railway, they are considered as a passenger. The same person acted as a different name in a different places. So this is a simple real-time example for the polymorphism. The next we are going to see that is an inheritance. The ability of class to inherit properties and characteristics from another class. This is called as an inheritance. The next one is encapsulation. The definition is the wrapping data and methods together to restrict direct access and protect the integrity of an object. We can encapsulate that. If you want to access, we have to follow some procedures. The final, that is a very important. What is meant by a class? It is a user-defined data type that act as a blueprint for creating an objects. So once we start to see an example, we can easily understand what is meant by class, object, inheritance, everything. So now we are see only the definitions. So what is meant by an object? An instance of a class that contain an address and take up space in a memory. Yeah, so these are all some of the features, some of the concept that we have discussed in the previous slide. The same thing repeated here. So we next move on to the next one. Yeah, so this is the features of an object-oriented programming. Abstraction, inheritance, object, class, encapsulation, polymorphism, method overriding, overloading. So everything we'll see later. So don't confuse anything now. Yeah, this is a very simple example for an class and object. Very simple example. So vehicle is considered as a class, then car, truck, cycle. These are all comes under the vehicle category. So vehicle is a class. Here object is a car, truck, cycle. That's all. This is a very simple example, real-time example for class and object. So this is the some of the features of an Java. So we have seen what is meant by object-oriented programming. After that, we have seen what is the difference between procedure and object-oriented programming. Then we have seen what are the OOPS concept. So in this, we are seeing some of the features of an object-oriented programming. So it is a simple language, it is a secure, it is a portable language, it is a robust, it support multi-threading, it provide high performance, it is a distributed and dynamic. So these are all some of the features of an object-oriented programming. So that's all about in this lecture series. So if you have any doubts, comment on the comment section. Thank you.